Okay, so we're diving into the future today.
Sounds fun.
Well, the future, as Sam Altman sees it anyway, the CEO of OpenAI.
Right.
He's talking about this future powered by what he calls superintelligence.
Yeah.
And, where scientific progress is happening like 10 times faster, compounding year after year.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not just some far-off science fiction concept,
Right.
Like we're seeing how AI is changing how we live and work already.
Absolutely.
And what Altman is saying gives us like a sneak peek into where all of this could be going.
It does.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of sources for this deep dive.
Uh-huh.
But that interview with Altman is really the crown jewel, I think.
Totally.
He talks about his predictions about AI, obviously.
Yeah.
That feud with Elon Musk, the
Right.
competition with China
It's a line.
to develop this advanced AI.
And this isn't just, tech industry gossip either.
No,
This is like
it's important stuff.
AI, especially stuff like ChatGPT, is already changing how we work, how we learn.
Yeah.
Even how we think. So understanding what's going on in this world is going to be crucial for all of us.
Absolutely. So let's start with something that really jumped out at me.
Okay.
Altman compares the shift that we're seeing with AI to the jump from like a pre-iPhone world to the smartphone era.
Wow.
Like, he's saying it's that big of a deal?
Yeah, think about how much the iPhone changed everything.
Oh, yeah.
Communication, how we get information, how we navigate the world.
Yeah.
Imagine a similar shift, but with AI at the center of it.
And here's the thing that really blew my mind.
Okay.
Altman himself doesn't even use Google anymore. He uses ChatGPT for all his searches.
Wow.
I mean, that says a lot about how deeply AI is being integrated into daily life,
Right.
even by the people who are building it.
Really highlights how much faith he has in AI's ability to provide accurate and relevant information.
Yeah.
If someone like him, at the forefront of AI development has switched entirely,
Right.
what does that tell us about how this technology is going to impact everyone else?
Exactly. Now let's talk about this superintelligence idea that Altman keeps bringing up.
Okay.
He's basically saying that it's this point where scientific progress just explodes exponentially.
Right.
It's like, imagine the rate of progress increasing tenfold year after year.
Yeah, it's true. Predicting the specifics of superintelligence is almost impossible.
Yeah,
But I think we could look at the past
right.
and how other technologies have caused these rapid changes.
Right.
Like the printing press, the steam engine,
Yeah,
the internet.
right.
They all led to huge shifts in societies and economies.
Absolutely.
Superintelligence has the potential to affect multiple fields all at once.
At the same time.
The impact could be way more profound.
And speaking of shaking things up, we can't ignore the drama with Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
OpenAI started as a nonprofit, remember?
Right.
With Musk as a co-founder, all about developing safe AI.
Right.
But then things got interesting.
Yeah, the move to a for-profit model,
Yeah.
which OpenAI claimed they needed to do to get access to more money for research, caused this huge rift between Altman and Musk.
Huge.
Musk basically said the move betrayed the company's original purpose.
Yeah, things got pretty heated.
Oh, yeah.
Altman called Musk a bully, and Musk said he didn't trust Altman to control such powerful AI.
Some pretty strong words.
It's like a tech world soap opera,
I think those quotes actually point to a much bigger question
which is...
about who gets to control the future of AI.
Right.
It's not just about money.
Yeah.
It's about who gets to decide how this technology is developed and how it's used.
Exactly. And that has huge implications for everyone.
Huge.
And Musk isn't the only one raising concerns.
Oh, that's right.
Meta, Facebook's parent company, has sided with him
Wow.
and is urging California's attorney general to step in.
They're basically saying that OpenAI, with Microsoft as a major investor,
Yeah.
could have an unfair advantage.
Right.
That having a nonprofit structure gives them cover while they pursue these aggressive for-profit goals.
This is where things take an interesting turn. Altman, the head of a leading AI company, is actually calling for AI regulation.
That's interesting.
It seems counterintuitive at first,
It does.
but his stance is actually quite nuanced.
Okay.
He argues that some regulation is crucial for safety, but he's also worried about too much regulation, stifling innovation and competition.
So it's a tricky balance.
It is a tricky balance.
Yeah,
And speaking of competition, there's that AI race with China,
right.
something that Altman seems particularly worried about. They've just partnered with Anduril Industries to develop AI for the military.
Wow.
And he really seems to believe that the U.S. has to win this race.
This partnership is a shift for OpenAI,
Yeah.
away from purely defensive AI and towards a more assertive approach.
Interesting.
It reflects the concerns that many in the West have about China's advances in AI and what it means for global security.
When asked what would happen if China dominated AI, Altman gave a chilling response, whatever China wants.
Wow.
Yeah.
That really drives home the potential stakes here.
It does?
It's not just about which country has the best AI.
Right.
It's about how that power could reshape the global landscape.
It's a big deal. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking about bias in AI.
Of course.
We've all seen those AI-generated images that get historical figures totally wrong, sometimes in hilarious ways.
Right. The issue of bias in AI is really complex.
It is.
It comes from the data these models are trained on,
Yeah.
which often reflects existing societal biases.
Yeah.
And the algorithms themselves can perpetuate that bias as well.
So how is OpenAI trying to deal with this?
Yeah, that's the question.
Well, they're focusing on letting users customize how the AI behaves.
Okay.
And making sure the default settings are transparent and well-defined.
This suggests that they're trying to balance the benefits of AI with the need to control potential harm.
Right.
They're acknowledging that there's no one-size-fits-all approach and giving users a degree of control.
Here's a bit of a twist before we wrap up this first part.
Okay.
We talked about the Altman-Musk clash. Well, despite being critical of Trump in the past, Altman actually donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration.
That's interesting.
Yeah. This might seem contradictory.
It does.
But it could be part of a broader shift in Silicon Valley.
Okay.
Where figures like Altman are starting to see economic growth and tech progress as like patriotic duties.
I see.
Yeah, it's a complex landscape that's constantly evolving.
It is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
We'll dig deeper into this and other topics in part 2, but for now, let all of that sink in.
A lot to think about.
It is. It's clear the future of AI is anything but straightforward.
For sure.
It's fascinating how Altman is pushing the boundaries of AI, but also, acknowledging that we need to be careful and consider regulation.
It really makes you think.
It does.
And that's what we're here for, right? To try and understand these complex issues and figure out this rapidly changing world.
For sure. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about how we can actually use AI tools like ChatGPT effectively. I mean, this directly impacts you as a listener.
This is where things get practical.
Yeah.
In the interview, Altman mentioned that when ChatGPT added internet search capabilities, he doubled his usage.
Wow.
It went from being something he kind of played around with to a tool he uses all the time.
It's like having a super-powered research assistant who's available 24/7 right in your pocket.
While that's a simplified analogy,
it
really captures what makes these tools so powerful. They give us access to an incredible amount of information and can help us process and analyze it in ways that just weren't possible before.
Altman also made a really interesting point about how he sees AI impacting the whole economy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He compared it to how the transistor revolutionized electronics.
Interesting.
The transistor started as this small scientific discovery and ended up becoming the foundation for countless devices and innovations.
Like everything we use, pretty much.
Yeah.
Altman believes AI could follow a similar path.
It's interesting.
It won't be just about one company or one app.
Right.
It'll be a core technology that underpins countless products and services.
That's a powerful image.
It is.
If AI does become as widespread as the transistor, how will that change how we interact with technology? Will we become even more reliant on it?
Yeah.
Or will it become so integrated into our lives that we barely even notice it?
Those are great questions.
They are.
And ones that we'll need to think about as a society.
Yeah.
The more we understand both the potential benefits and the risks of AI, the better prepared we'll be to navigate this new territory.
And remember our discussion about bias in AI. Altman talked about this directly, highlighting the importance of user flexibility and transparent defaults as ways to mitigate bias.
When he talks about user flexibility, he means giving people the ability to customize how the AI systems work. Within ethical boundaries, of course. This acknowledges that there's no single definition of fairness and that users should have some control over how their AI tools reflect their values.
And by transparent defaults, he means that the initial settings and behaviors of the AI system should be clearly laid out and open to public discussion so that they can be debated and revised if necessary.
It's an approach that aims to strike a balance between allowing customization while also ensuring that these AI systems don't promote harmful or discriminatory behavior.
Right. Out of the box.
Exactly.
But let's be real.
Okay.
Transparency is great in theory, but is it really achievable in the world of AI development where things move so quickly?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
The speed of innovation often outpaces our ability to fully understand ethical implications.
Right.
It's something we as a society need to address.
Yeah.
We need ways to continuously evaluate and adjust course as AI evolves.
Bringing it back to the AI race with China, something that Altman seems particularly concerned about, he stated that if China wins, they'll essentially control the future of AI on a global scale.
It's a pretty stark assessment.
It is.
And it highlights the fact that AI isn't just about technology.
Right.
It's about geopolitics.
Yeah.
And how technological advantage translates into economic and political power.
Absolutely. Altman believes that the U.S. needs to focus on building its AI infrastructure and securing the supply chain.
Makes sense.
He specifically mentioned domestic chip manufacturing and energy production as key parts of this strategy.
That shows a growing awareness that AI isn't just about software.
Right.
It needs a strong hardware ecosystem.
Yeah.
Along with access to massive computing power and data.
So what does this mean for you?
For me?
Well, for you, the listener.
Oh, right.
It suggests that AI is going to be a huge policy focus in the coming years.
Yeah.
Not just in the U.S., but worldwide.
It'll be fascinating to see how different governments respond to this challenge. Will they prioritize collaboration or competition?
Yeah.
Will the focus be on regulation or innovation?
Good questions.
The answers to those questions are going to have a huge impact on the future of AI.
Yeah.
And how it affects our lives.
Now, shifting gears a bit, Altman, while deeply immersed in the world of technology, actually seems to enjoy some pretty normal hobbies.
Really?
Yeah. He talked about having dinner with friends, hiking, exercising, even building a tree house.
I guess even tech CEOs need to unplug sometime.
They do. But here's something that really got me thinking.
Okay.
Altman said he would be okay with his future child having an AI friend.
Wow.
That opens up all sorts of questions about the future of human-AI interaction.
It does.
Will AI companions become common?
Right.
Will they be seen as tools, as friends, or something completely different?
Like a real-life sci-fi scenario.
It is.
Playing out right in front of us.
Exciting and a little unsettling at the same time.
Absolutely. That's what's so interesting about technological advancements.
Yeah.
They often blur the lines between what we thought was possible and what's becoming reality.
Well, that's all the time we have for part 2.
Already.
I know, of our deep dive into the world of Sam Altman and the future of AI. But don't worry, we'll be back with part 3.
Looking forward to it.
To explore even more fascinating insights and questions. Welcome back to our deep dive into the future of AI. We're unpacking all those insights and ideas from our interview with Sam Altman.
Yeah, we've explored a lot already.
We have.
From the rapid advancements in AI, the Altman-Musk drama, to the global race with China.
Right.
And the whole issue of bias in AI.
It's a lot.
There's still so much to uncover there.
There is. And we're better to pick up than with Altman's stance on AI regulation.
Okay.
You know, he's a big advocate for some level of regulation, even though he's leading one of the top companies in AI development.
It's almost like he's saying, look, we need to pump the brakes a little, even though I'm the one with my foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating perspective.
It is. It does seem a bit contradictory at first glance.
It does.
But I think it shows that he understands that AI has the potential to be both incredibly beneficial and potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
He wants to find that sweet spot where we can, you know, harness the power of AI without letting it get out of control.
Exactly. He recognizes that if we let AI develop unchecked, we could face some pretty serious consequences.
For sure.
But he also believes that, you know, stifling innovation with too much regulation could prevent us from realizing AI's full potential.
Right.
Finding that balance is key.
It's a tough challenge, though.
It is.
How do we make sure that AI serves humanity without accidentally creating something that could harm us?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
And there's no easy answer.
Right.
It's going to take a collaborative effort between researchers, policymakers, industry leaders, and the public to figure this out.
And that idea of collaboration seems to be a recurring theme with Altman.
It does.
Remember how he talked about wanting to work with China on AI?
Oh, yeah.
Despite all the current tensions?
It's a pretty bold idea.
It is.
Considering the rivalry between the U.S. and China.
Yeah, but Altman seems to believe that finding ways to cooperate, at least on some aspects of AI, is crucial to managing the risks and ensuring that, everyone benefits from this technology.
It's a big ask.
It is.
But I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, AI is a global issue.
It is.
It's going to affect everyone regardless of where they live.
Absolutely. The challenges posed by AI reach beyond national borders.
They do.
Think about climate change pandemics.
Right.
The global economy.
These are issues that demand global cooperation.
Yeah.
And shared knowledge to solve effectively.
And who knows, maybe AI itself could play a role in helping us achieve that cooperation.
That's an interesting thought. What if it could help us bridge those cultural divides? Find common ground and work together on these really critical issues.
That's a great point.
But it's important to acknowledge the potential downsides, too.
Right.
What if AI is used to worsen existing inequalities?
Yeah.
Concentrate power in the hands of a few.
Right.
Create new forms of surveillance.
Those are all valid concerns.
They are.
And that's why it's so important to have these conversations, to debate the ethical implications, demand transparency and accountability from those who are developing AI.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're right. It's not enough to just be impressed by the technology.
No.
We need to engage with its social and ethical aspects. We have to ask tough questions, challenge assumptions, and hold those in power responsible.
Because at the end of the day, the future of AI isn't set in stone.
Right.
We have the power, both individually and collectively, to shape how this technology evolves and make sure it's used for good.
That's probably the biggest takeaway from our deep dive into Sam Altman and the future of AI.
I think so.
It's a future that's full of possibilities, but also potential risks.
Right.
And we all have a part to play in shaping it.
So what does all of this mean for you, the listener? Here's a thought to consider. Altman talked about the need for this massive AI infrastructure development in the U.S. Will this actually become a national priority? And more importantly, what role will you play in a world that's increasingly driven by AI? Will you be a passive observer, letting AI shape your reality? Or will you be an active participant, demanding transparency, influencing ethical development, and using AI's power to build a better future for yourself and for everyone else? The choice ultimately is yours. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Sam Altman and the future of AI. It's a complex and rapidly evolving landscape, and we hope this conversation has given you some food for thought and maybe even inspired you to get involved in shaping the future of this incredible technology.